It's a completely different atmosphere, isn't it? Back home, the only thing I can think of being similar is the Notting Hill Carnival. But I've only seen pictures of it. I never went. I just never had the time. It didn't really interest me, to be honest. And I feel like I would be somewhat out of place. Well, it's a celebration of culture, isn't it? And I'm not really well versed in it. I wouldn't want to make a fool of myself. I know. I know there's no need to dance or anything like that. Maybe a part of me wanted to go there with someone who understood it more than me. You know, to know which stalls to go to, teach me about what they're selling, the history behind it. I wouldn't want to go and not appreciate what I'm seeing and eating. Yes, that's why the research for St. Lucia was extensive. It's a small island, but it's rich with so much information I don't know. And each country has their own customs and societal rules and things that you wouldn't really think about at home. I mean, when I was doing my research, I found out that wearing camouflage clothing was illegal here if you aren't police. That's why I like to make sure, just in case. There's nothing wrong with being prepared. No, you're right. No amount of time could prepare me for the heat. Compared to our heat waves, it's quite hard to explain. The aircon is nice, and you have that breeze you don't get in London. It's stifling over there, but even though the sun feels intense here, somehow the air is more breathable. It is quite nice. Plus, the beverages are something else. I've never had this before I came here. What is it called again? Ah, sorrel shandy. It's so refreshing. Does it make my tongue red? Can you see it when I talk? Oh, right. I guess it would stain my lips too, wouldn't it? Well, at least it's just on the seam. I don't want my lips to look swollen. I suppose that is definitely one positive. I thought I'd get a little sunburnt, but I made sure to get the sunscreen I needed. What do you think of the tan? Yeah? I like it too. You soak up the heat so well. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little jealous. You barely break a sweat. I have to carry a bandana with me just in case we're doing something active and my forehead starts crying. No, it's worth it. It's all worth it. This is what I wanted to experience. Something completely different from what my life was. I mean, look at this. Everyone that we're looking at has their own lives and problems and things they have to deal with. But right now, they're here for celebration, for food and for dancing and just being together in the moment. No yesterday, no tomorrow. Now. I've felt a little freer being here, haven't you? Exactly. We don't have to look over our shoulders and worry about someone taking a picture of us because of what we used to be. No one here knows us. They won't attack us for doing something as simple as having dinner together. It comes to my mind on occasion. It's not really something I can forget, you know? It was so sudden, and we were having a good time. Yes, we can rewrite it here. and however many times in the future. I do still have a little feeling of doubt. The small voice in my head. I don't think it'll ever go away. But I'm getting better at ignoring it. What about you? Good. You don't have to worry about seeing your classmates here. I think it was bad enough for the both of us. I don't want to compete with who had it the worst. The main point is that we're both here now, eating and drinking and living. I trust your photography better than mine. I'm glad that you want to document everything. Make sure to send the pictures to me, though. I want to make an album of this holiday. I'm not making it to show anyone in particular. It's just for myself. I'm sure my parents would like to see it, but I don't really want to think about them right now. This holiday is supposed to be for us. Cheers. It feels like we're living a different life, doesn't it? I see it as a nice change. Not necessarily something to aspire to. I mean, a part of me wishes that I could uplift our lives and pretend that we were from somewhere else. That we'd met in a different way and pretend that we didn't have to carry around more baggage. No, I don't regret it. I don't regret what happened and how it happened. Do you? Everything led to here. And I suppose if it didn't, I would have stayed stuck for a little longer. I would still be listening to an echo chamber of someone else's dreams. And sure, I chose to pursue being a professor because I enjoyed it. I thought I had all this knowledge and I was able to teach it in a way that could be understood. I was good at it. So I thought maybe I should try and perfect it. I was told by so many people how good it would be for me to be a professor. My parents, my peers, my own teachers. One of the youngest professors in the world, they'd always say. And I won't lie, it sounded like something incredible to be. To have that title. It is, isn't it? To be something that not many can achieve. But I'm more than my mind. I'm more than my studies and teaching. It's what everyone expected me to do, but I have my own autonomy. And it's partly, well, it's mostly because of you. Since I stepped off the plane, I've been reminded that there is so much more to life. I mean, I still want to learn, but exploring didn't even seem like a possibility to me before you came into my class. I never played with the notion of flirting. I mean, you know that you weren't my first partner, but after my official studies, I closed myself off from that. I had no time thinking about romance or I didn't even give myself space to entertain it. So when I started to fall for you, it was like a butterfly effect. Many more doors opened. One of them being us in the Caribbean, eating good food and living in the moment. No stress about papers or students, no curriculum to create, no being alone in my existence. In my mind, there would be no point coming here by myself. Why would I when I wouldn't have anyone to share it with? I think it would be a waste of time and a waste of memory. That's why having you here makes everything worth it. You're the highlight of this holiday to me. I'm serious. What happiness could I get from any of this that I can get with you? You're the one who makes my food taste better, makes this drink taste sweeter. Just from you being here, looking around, the awe in your eyes and the smile that lights up your face. I told you I'm serious. You don't have to do anything but be beside me. I know you will. Wait, where are you going? You're okay, fine. Give me a second. Yes, beside you is where I belong. Dancing? I'm not good at dancing. Well, definitely not this kind of dancing. I don't want to impose. Okay, I don't want to make a fool of myself. It would be a wasted memory if I didn't, wouldn't it? Stop using my own words against me, please. Mimic. Okay. I'll mimic the best way I can. How do they even... what was it called again? I remember looking into it. Whining. Yes. I don't think I can do that with my waist. You're doing it much better than I am. You look good doing it too. All right. The waist. Oh, my feet are killing me. I didn't know that dancing would be as fun as it was. Especially with that music. It's hard not to move. Yeah, that group was very, nice to me, all things considered. True, at least they were kind enough to show me some moves. But that means I clearly looked out of my depth, which I was. No, they were very encouraging. I felt a bit better afterwards when they didn't need to demonstrate anymore, so I guess I won them over with my whining. And there's a reason why you've never seen me do it. I'm not good at doing it, and I've never had the need to. And, to be honest, I didn't even know what kind of dance move it was before I started looking into the carnivals. Much better. Seeing you move like that was, something. It was very appealing to my eyes. I almost want to ask for a private demonstration. I'm not, though, because the energy in my body has evaporated. Even with all we ate today. I think the best thing I ate today was the saltfish fritters. They were so good. And with that sauce, tamarind, I thought it would be too sweet, but they balance each other out beautifully. Me, a chef? No, I don't think so. I don't have the skills nor the palate to be one. Would you do it? If you weren't an editor, would you try to be a chef? Your cooking is fine. What? Saliva got stuck in my throat, so I paused. I'm teasing you. Your cooking is fine. We both know how to do the basic of the basics, but that's enough for now. And there are a lot of recipes online, so we're spoiled for choice. That's not what I'm saying. Your vault of recipes is enough for me. Yes, they are. No, I don't intend to cook anything while I'm here. And I don't want you to either. We didn't come all this way to eat what we normally do. Exactly. The problems we're going to have is finding what we ate here back home. Or trying to make it. It's too good not to try. Oh, I was just thinking. I was contemplating whether or not this is the best moment of my life so far. I mean it. I never spared a second thought on cuisine, a culture so far from my own, a country so far from home. And honestly, I can't think of a better moment than right now. Despite it all, despite everything, we've come far, haven't we? I still remember how I felt when I read your essay for the first time, the one on 12th century literature. Yes, Abelard and Heloise. Forbidden romance. I can't believe you were so bold. At the time, I knew that you felt something, but I didn't know the extent of it. And I've told you before, but I couldn't bring myself to think anything of it. I was your professor. I was the one meant to guide you, to teach and help you. If you hadn't written that, our relationship might have taken longer. True. We wouldn't have had those times in my classroom and office. Really? I think you would have been able to be an editor without me. You're smart and hardworking, sharp and perceptive. You would have done it on your own. I mean, my job was to cultivate that. I didn't think I needed to give myself any credit because that's why I was there in the first place. I don't need affirmations, just seeing the students engage and improve was more than enough. You graduated because you put in the effort. I'm just happy that I was a part of that growth. I don't think I'm hard on myself. You think so? I've never really thought about it. I mean, it's been natural for me to work harder, to give more. I mean, when I was working at university, my whole life was a routine. A welcome one, but thinking back from here, it was too curated. I couldn't bear allocating time to something else that didn't involve work in some way. Yes, I agree with you. I've definitely gotten better at accepting what the day will give me. I have you to thank for that. I don't have to worry as much now. I spent half of my 20s and my whole childhood looking at books. And there were spells where I would glance up to enjoy the world for what it was. But you made me linger. And then you made me want more. You should be proud of yourself. You know I love you, right? I just wanted to tell you. In case this is all a dream and I wake up. I fear that every day. Because sometimes, when I look at you and I think back on all we've done, all we've been through, it doesn't seem like my life. I don't know. Maybe because everything that happened was so sudden and I had to look at myself, really look at myself in so many ways in such a short amount of time. I know this is real, but when you're living a dream you've had for years, you can't help but wonder how you managed to get there and if you really deserve it. Look at what? Okay. It's more than the location. It's everything. I mean, this. This is unbelievable. The view alone is stunning. With you, it's everything. It wasn't that expensive. When I was doing my research, Ladera was the hotel that caught my eye. And besides, I wanted to spoil you. Seeing you right here is worth the money. And honestly, this holiday was long overdue. I think I did spoil myself as well. You spoiled me enough with your kisses, so consider me completely satiated. Well, I always have room for a little more. What would make this better? Simon would. Just hearing from him again. Even if it's one last time. Just to know that he's okay. I'd be fine with that. He walked out for a reason. And I had to figure out if he wanted me to bring him back, or if I respected his decision to leave. Either way, if I was wrong, I'd lose. I mean, I already lost him. And it feels like a part of me still isn't whole. I can get by in my life without him. I have done for all these years, but I can't permanently silence the worry, the little thoughts about him. Well, the biggest one is him meeting you. I might be the oldest, but I would want him to know about you. I'd want you two to get along because I really think that you would. And seeing that, the two most important people to me, it would be the highlight of my life. I wouldn't know where to start in finding him. He didn't leave any kind of way to. He could have changed his name, for all I know. And he's an adult, so he's not missing. But I think what I need to do is come to terms with the fact that I may never find him. And I need to be okay with not knowing. I know it's natural to miss him. But I can't let that worry seep into everything else I care for. I'm perfectly fine with what I have now, and I won't ever take it for granted. I'm luckier than most. I have you. I have my life. I have a home, a good job, a small circle of friends. And when we return, I'll focus on all of that and learning. I don't think that part of me can ever be satisfied. I'm a curious soul. You are a wondrous soul. I see you in all of my futures, in every iteration of every dream. The path we met on was filled with potholes and sharp rocks and constant obstructions. But we navigated it together, and that's why we're still here. It's not meant to be perfect, darling. There's so much more waiting for us, and it might not be easy. Just because we've moved on from the university setting and live together, some people won't forget. I'll always be a villain in their eyes, and I accept that. I accepted it all when I kissed you for the first time. I don't blame you for anything. You can't put that on yourself. What happened? Those were my choices. The rumors were one thing, but you knew the truth. You believed me, not the reputation I was getting. It wasn't your job to defend me. We're both adults, but everyone has their morals and ethics and where they draw the line with them. And to us, that didn't matter, which is all that really mattered, you know? No. That time at the restaurant, I'm glad you didn't make a scene. I know you wanted to, and I wanted to say some words as well, but it was better if there wasn't any more reason to criticize us, even if we weren't in the wrong. I want to ask you something. Do you miss how I used to be? Or have you ever wanted the strict professor back? I mean, you were attracted to me for a reason, and I know you weren't the only one. I also know I had the reputation of being stern. I didn't want nonsense in my classes, and I wanted to push all of you to your potential. No sugarcoating. And that's what people liked about me, or so I think, even if some of them were afraid. What do you mean by that? I suppose that wasn't really me, was it? I mean, it wasn't a persona either, but it's all I really knew. Yes, I know so much more now. Thank you. Thank you for loving me for who I am now. I'm still figuring that out, but... Of course. We'll do it together, as we have been. Shall we make a toast? I think this is the perfect time to. Oh! To our future and whatever comes our way. No matter what. That's delicious, isn't it? I don't think me being more delicious works in this context. Oh, really? And how can you make it work? You need evidence to support your claim. That's how. You get a 90%. Yes, only a 90. You know I never give perfect scores. Well, maybe for you I'll make an exception. Just this once. I'll give you 100% for making me fall head over heels for you. Well, how else do you want me to say it? That I adore you? I'm crazy about you? I'm enamored with you? Oh, no, you didn't like the first phrase, so I'm going to find one you're satisfied with. I am devoted to you. I'm earnestly in love with you. Completely wild for you. I can't get enough of you. You're the apple of my eye. You're not a lemon anymore. You're not a forbidden delicacy. And this is the sweetest you've ever tasted. After all this time, you're still not used to it, are you? Sounds like something you need to work on. But don't worry, I'll mark you appropriately. We have all the time in the world. You're normally a fast learner, but I can give you some extra attention if you need it. Well, if you're that confident in yourself, I'll be looking forward to the exam. Whenever I decide to give it to you. I won't set a date, I'll just surprise you with it. Then prepare for an onslaught of compliments and love every day. I would give them to you every day, but I want you to yearn for it. And I yearn for you.